Hello, everyone. We are live, I hope, possibly. I may have done this right. We never know. I am here with a traumatized Fry because, well, I made him try again to use the leash, and we got almost to the end of our yard, but then he realized that our neighbors have little wiener dogs, the long-haired dachshunds. Um, and they were protecting their property lines, and Fry, showing all of his masculine testosterone, ran and hid behind me and, uh, ran away. So, we will try again, but awesome. I cannot remember if, the footage will come out from the Gareth Purse House case, so if it does, we will do that today. If not, I will start doing some videos about the University of Sexology and the Ask a Doctor from the Adult Film League. That will be one video, and then I will be doing a video on the, 8 passengers. Good morning, Nicholas. Uh, oh. Yes. Yes, he's like, "Mom, just buy the damn stroller. Dad said you could use the credit card. You have the credit card in your little thing. Buy the stroller." He also doesn't realize that I have to put him in obedience class. He's like, "No obedience class, just stroller." So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Roseman Ranch. So we are starting off with one that I think, uh, I know she's probably asleep because it is Futureland, but I thought especially for excited utterance and all of our Aussie friends, we would start with this one. And it is this a prank? Aussies are in disbelief at Americans' discovery. So I guess we discovered that Australia is a thing. I will have to put this on blast to everyone. I was pretty sure I I actually just DM'd Sal on, yeah, Fry learned to steal chicken nuggets when the boys weren't wary, so he has become an expert, fry nap or nugget napper. Good morning, Aaron. But let's see if we've discovered that Australia is a thing, because I saw this and I knew I had to add it first thing, because it was one of the most important news segments ever. Let's see. Americans are discovering buttered sandwiches for the first time, and the reactions across the world are hilarious. A US woman in Paris, France, shared a TikTok earlier this month of her making sandwiches, explaining the French do something very weird she thought followers would find strange. What they do, it's like a classic sandwich. It's ham, cheese, and butter. Literally just slab it on. No mayonnaise, no mustard, just butter. Amanda Rollins explained. And no, listen, I know you might be thinking that it sounds gross, but it's actually so good. Viewers from outside the US were baffled by the video, with Europeans and Australians confirming this is very normal, not just the French. So let's see if we can. Oh, well, she doesn't look like she eats bread or butter. I call shenanigans on this whole thing. I guess this is the butter thing. Yes, Jingles is cute enough to steal bacon. Bacon theft is always acceptable, but apparently we are we Americans are all confusioned. We are all confusioned, and again, I call shenanigans. This woman clearly has never seen a bread or a butter in her entire life. This woman hasn't seen a carb in years. Over the weekend, American lifestyle media company Pure Wow picked up the video and gave sandwich the buttered sandwich a go. Quote, "Anyone outside of the US would probably agree that butter on a sandwich is totally normal, but for many, this is a brand new food hack that they've discovered for the first time," the reviewer said. "Now this concept is totally new for me, but I've got to say I like it. It provides flavor and moisture to your sandwich and doesn't make bread soggy like mayo can." The review prompted even more shock. "What is going on? Is this a prank?" commented one TikTok user, gaining more than 23,000 likes in support. "I am completely confused. Why have Americans only discovered the main use of butter? Another comment said, which had over 40,000 likes. Is this just let me do something stupid so I can get views and viral? Well, okay, she's pretty and she's obviously not wearing a bra. So, I mean, yeah, and she has bread and butter. Look, I would have supported for the bread and butter, and men would have probably supported for the no bra. So, I'm just saying. Many, in disbelief of a butter and bread thing being labeled a new food hack, thought the review was a satire. Australian media personality Abby Chatfield recorded her own reaction video showing her in a state of confusion and shock, which has been viewed 3.4 million times in just 17 hours. Americans can be broken on so many levels. Truth. Y'all in the Vegemite. Now, I will say I don't know who made fairy bread up, but y'all, that has to be the most awesome thing ever. Like, I don't know who did it. I don't know who thought, "I have white bread, I have butter, and I have all these leftover sprinkles, and it's a thing now." Look, I don't know. Vegemite sounds if I'm gonna be honest, it sounds awful. But fairy bread, let me see if I can pull it up because it is It is something that three-year-old me would have like, three-year-old me would have made, and, 48-year-old me still thinks is awesome. So let me pull it up for you. Stop screen. This is hard-hitting news as per usual. I am bringing you all of this. So fairy bread is bring this over. I only need, like, 800 more screens and an assistant, but it's basically white bread. The origin of this easy, whimsical three-ingredient recipe can be traced to Australia and New Zealand, so one of those places exists. It's simply sliced white bread with butter and covered with multicolored round hundreds and thousands, so that's these little non-peril sprinkles. Now, I'm gonna tell you it feels like eating crunchy bread, but it is like all the sugar bread. It's amazing. Oh, yeah, it's carbs and sugar and fat. Like, it's if you um, and then typically cut into 2 triangles. If you ask any Aussie, they'll tell you that for an authentic Australian fairy bread experience, inexpensive grocery store sliced white bread is the only way to go. Many will also say margarine is often used instead of high quality butter, and there's a magical ratio to butter and sprinkles on the bread. The butter needs to be spread thick enough to allow sprinkles to adhere, but not so much that it overpowers the flavor. So, there you go. And it dates back to the 1920s in Australia, where the recipe was first mentioned in Hobart Mercury newspaper. It describes children consuming fairy bread at a party. Since that time, the fairy bread a particular has been particular to children's parties and popular in both Australia and New Zealand. So there you go. You learn something new every day, and now I really, really want fairy bread. Damn you, Australia. Even though you don't exist, you always have carbs. Terrible. And now that I'm completely off topic, so yes, we have discovered butter bread. Uh, let's see. Americans can be broken on so many levels. So yes, all the sweets. You guys are no longer, imaginary since you have sweets and carbs. We have upgraded you to being absolutely absolutely real since you now have sweets and bread products. "This is the kettle thing all over again," commented one person, referencing the time the internet ruthlessly mocked the US for discovering electric kettles last year. I have used electric kettles all the time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what, moms out there, Parents, get yourself an electric kettle. It's gonna sound silly, but if your kids like ramen noodles, which mine do, get yourself an electric kettle or hot chocolate. Get yourself an electric kettle if they're old enough to be reasonably responsible, and even my youngest, most feral, can be reasonably responsible. They can make themselves their own. I will. I'm actually working on that this week. I've got a list of things to do, including puppy obedience training, because someone is still not liking the leash at all. And he's still just a little too small, so he can slide right out of that harness. So that's not doing any good. But yes, you can make ramen noodles with it. They can make hot chocolate. It's just electric kettle, best thing, most awesome thing ever. I don't know why no one understands. The New York Times published an article with the headline, "Quick, or a swift, easy way to heat water without using the stove." Well, look, we Americans never said we were great at everything except for freedom and making up our own measurement units that confuse everyone. To be fair, we're kind of we're kind of weird, but we own it. Now in sad news, Steve Harwell, former lead singer of Smash Mouth, dies at 57 or 56, sorry. So, honestly, I really only remember his one song. Look, I love electric kettles. I don't like using the microwave. Good morning, Bunny. I hope everyone is having a good Tuesday, and please remember that it's Tuesday and not Monday because I will be confused for the entire week, as everyone should be. But unfortunately, he passed away this week, and I believe Steve Harwell, the Good Natured co-founder and original lead singer of Smash Mouth, the late 90s California-based band renowned for ska-tinged hits such as Walking on the Sun and the perennial anthem All Star, Harwell died in his home in Boise, Idaho on Monday. The musician was in hospice care owing to multiple health complications, and he was 56. They got pissy with us and didn't invite us to their conference, so we had to make our own setups. Well, the French get pissy with a lot of people, and then they need our help. So really, yes, please like, subscribe, share. If everyone needs this hard-hitting, news stories and whatnot, or just crazy stories in the mornings. Uh, Harwell's manager, Robert Hayes, confirmed the news to Variety, writing in a statement, "Steve Harwell was a true American original, larger-than-life character who shot up into the sky like a Roman candle." Possibly. Well, he burnt out really quick, I guess, unfortunately. He should be remembered for his unwavering focus and impassioned determination to reach the heights of pop stardom, and the fact that he achieved this nearly impossible goal with very limited musical experience makes his accomplishments all the more remarkable. His only tools were his irrepressible charm and charisma, his fearlessly reckless ambition, and his king-sized cojones. This is actually one of the better I mean, how do you say, like, he really didn't have a whole lot that he musically talent-wise, but he just kind of went out there and winged it? I mean, what a amazing amount of balls to go out and wing it. I mean, he lived like you said, Steve lived 100% a full throttle life, burning brightly across the universe before burning out. I mean, that's so sad, but some people are like that. They're just you're either 100% or not, unfortunately. Over the last decade, Harwell, who's long struggled with alcohol abuse, also suffered from a number of ailments that impacted his motor functions, speech, and memory, which increasingly impacted his performance. By October 2021, after a concert in Bethel, New York, where the singer appeared to be intoxicated and threatened audience members, he announced his retirement from Smash Mouth due to ongoing health issues. Yeah, yet Keith Richards will never die. And Rod Stewart will probably have another baby, like, next week. And rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. Don't use that kinda talk around here, King of the Hill, Bobby Hill. Oh my gosh. It does feel like that, and Madonna's got a whole new weird face. It's just weird. Whatever happened to that guy from, Creed? I mean, I've got Chad Kroeger from what's his face from, oh gosh, Nickelback trying to talk to me. It was so funny. So I was talking to about this at that, cookout while I was there, and the boys were like, "Someone from Nickelback is talking to you? That's so awesome. Are you famous now?" And I said, "Sweetheart, no, it's not the real Nickelback." And he said, "But it could be." And I said, "Well, if he only has 6 followers, possibly." They're like, "But you're a real YouTuber now, mom. It really could be." My kids have faith in me. The real Nickelback loves me. Hey, Mads. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of being a rock star performing in front of sold out arenas, and I've been so fortunate to live out that dream, he said in a statement at the time. To my bandmates, it's been an honor performing with you all these years, and I can't think of anyone else I would have rather gone on this wild journey with. Born Steve Scott Harwell on January 9th, 1967, in Santa Clara, California, Harwell started his career as a Chuck D-inspired rapper for hip-hop ensemble FOS, Freedom of Speech. Oh my gosh. We have to find his first rap album. This would be amazing. Which released a single title called Big Black Boots in 1993. However, he shifted gears to an alt rock formed Smash Mouth, originally styled as one word, with his childhood friend, drummer Kevin Coleman, and two veterans of the San Jose punk band Lackadaddy, songwriters, guitarist Greg Camp, and bassist Paul DeLise or Delisle. Look, y'all, names are bad. I can't even remember my kids' names half the time. When San Jose radio station KOME-FM began airing a demo of one of the group's song, Nervous in the Alley, the group, signed with Powerhouse Interscope Records, split their name to two words and released their debut album, Fushumang, in 1997. Oh my gosh. It feels like 1997 was 10 years ago. I know it's been forever ago. Swear to goodness, it feels like 10 years ago. Any hoozle, now I wanna go watch Shrek, you guys. And yes, Keith Richards' body did kill the coof. That's what happened. That's the only way I will ever understand science or stience if you watch Disenchantment. Greg is probably one of the best songwriters I've ever been around, Hallwell told Vice. "I've seen the guy write a song in a half an hour. He's a huge part of why we're here. Greg and I and Paul, we just clicked from day one." Camp was the principal songwriter behind the band's second album in 1999's Astro Lounge. Smash Mouth moves from the ska-inflected alt-rock to power. Where did things go? Any hoozle, they wrote for, the Shrek movie. Everyone's heard it. Good lord. He struggled with all the addiction. It goes on and for on and for on. I am having all the ADHD. If you would like to read about all of his music, they did do a Christmas out Smash Mouth did a Christmas album. Good lord, no. Stop doing Christmas albums. We already had NSYNC do a Christmas album. This is a terrible idea. Let's get to one that I found just for Baker, and I wanted to get to, so using my power as having the thing with the thing, just for you, Baker. And I believe that you will agree that cheesecake made her crazy. Quote, "The cheesecake killer, Victoria Nazarova, selling 3D art in the clink, is on edge all the time as she appeals the murder conviction." So it looks like Baker might be onto something. Cheesecake is evil. I'm not so sure, but let's see. It might be that cheesecake turned everyone evil. Maybe her drawing skills aren't as half-baked. Victoria Nazarova, the Russian-born former dominatrix who was sentenced to more than 2 decades behind bars for trying to poison her look-alike pal with a slice of tainted cheesecake, has taken up drawing while cooling up her heels in the clink. God bless this writer. Who is this? Why would you have it? Christina? No, not even gonna try it. Good luck, ma'am. They played it to death. They p This looks like a case that Sal and I need to go over. I believe, Sal, this might be one this is going on my handy dandy notebook. I'm getting my pen, and this might be a Salbert and Mo, uh, case to look into. Well, she's in the clink, Sal, she's almost all of your potential love interest. She's in the clink, she's doing art. I know. She's into she's not a vanilla girl. I mean, pen pal time is here. We will be doing a video very soon. Watch out for it. The Cheesecake Killer from Mo and Sal to your YouTube play. I can English. Quote, "My so-called signature work is letters of people's name with butterflies and other things in 3Ds." Oh my god, she's learned word art. Dear Lord, help us all. I we will be finding something. I This is from these are Baker's words. He hates cheesecake. Send all disgruntled, angsty cheesecake, propaganda to Baker. These are not my words. I am pro cheesecake. I am simply well, but she did try to poison someone with cheesecake, so maybe she is also anti-cheesecake. That's why it was her, instrumentality of death. I don't know. Nasarov Nasarova, 47, told the Post from the Bedford Hills Correctional Facility in a series of jailhouse interviews. Quote, "You would be surprised," she continued. "I get an enormous amount of pleasure from seeing people's faces when I give them what they ordered from me. No one ever expects it. I call what I make without false modesty works of art. Even for me, they look like little miracles." I give up, people. Well, yeah, I know. The raven-haired alleged serial poisoner says she's always liked art, culture, and travel, but it's gotten hard for her to find people to talk to about that since she's moved to Westchester County Women's Prison following her April sentencing. She's like, "I just can't find people to talk about culture in prison. I just don't know why." Well, there you go, Sal. You can fix her. Uh, Prison has taken away her wax for her mustache, though, so, I don't wanna sound like I'm better than others, although in some ways I am. Oh, that modesty there, sweetheart. You and Sarah Boone, roommates, BFFs forever. Get this woman a room with Sarah Boone. The narcissism would just empty out the oxygen in, like, 5 seconds, and we wouldn't have to deal with housing them forever. Just a thought. Um allegedly in Minecraft put them together and yeah, Nasarova said, "But to find a person on your intellectual level, it's hard to find people here that I can really communicate with. I wanna talk about art, culture, travel, and books. Get this woman with Sarah Boone. I am done with these people. Get this woman with Sarah Boone right now." Oh, Lord. Let's see. Nasarova was sentenced to more than 2 decades behind bar for trying to poison her lookalike pal with a slice of tainted cheesecake. "I didn't do anything," she insisted. "I never robbed anyone. I never killed anyone. I never tried to kill anyone. They sentenced me to 21 years for a crime I didn't commit." Yeah. Well, I mean, her hair looks nicer. That's a wig. I don't know. Well, but even since discovering her new passion for drawing and being able to enjoy fresh vegetables she didn't get while on Rikers Island awaiting her trial, Nasarova says she's on edge all the time. "I wasn't like that before. In jail, you get the sense that something's about to happen any moment. You can be eating, then one minute, the next someone next to you is fighting. I can't relax," she whined. It's almost like prison isn't where you go to have fun. Salberto, there you go. Merry Christmas. It's an early Easter slash Hanukkah slash Kwanzaa slash Festivus gift for you. All that will end if she succeeds in her plans to appeal her February attempted murder conviction, which Nasarova insisted will happen because she is, of course, innocent. Sal, ask her her recipe for cheesecake. Mhm. I need to know. Eye drops or antifreeze. This sh I shouldn't be laughing. Someone almost died, but come on, ma'am. I just can't find my intellectual equals. I am so smart. Why am I in prison? 'Cause you're not smart enough, ma'am. We found out. "I didn't do anything," she insisted as she sat in the visitor's room at Bedford Hills. "I never robbed anyone. I didn't kill anyone. I never tried to kill anyone. They sentenced me to 21 years for a crime I did not commit." That's not what a Queen's jury thought when it found Nasarova guilty of trying to kill Olga Tisvik, a 35-year-old eyelash stylist. Jamie, we must find this woman. She's an eyelash stylist. By feeding her a piece of poisoned cheesecake in August 2016. "Ma'am, you look nothing like her. Imma need you to quit right now." Okay. Prosecutors trotted out a string of damning witnesses during the trial, including Tisik, Ruben Burkoff, the former beau, who told the court that Nasarova poisoned him during a date, stole his credit card, and went on a 2,600 spending spree, and Nazdezhda Ford, the daughter of a Russian woman whose body Nasarova allegedly torched after she killed her. Yeah, good lord. Cheesecake for Baker, lashes for Jamie, dominatrixness for Sal. I mean, if she has, you know, intellectual, vigor for Sarah Boone, all she needs is to be able to fix Fords for Dale Brooks, and then we've got, like, the perfect Yahtzee, I think. Yahtzee is 5 things, right? And that's 5, I think. Oh, dear lord. Testimony combined with DNA evidence Nastorova left on the cheesecake box. Ma'am, you is not smart. And also, can I be in the hospital and still have my lashes look good, even with harsh lighting? I'm jealous. I know, my news. You get hard-hitting news from other people. I'm over here, poison cheesecake. Uh, doomed the defendant, who the Queen's Supreme Court Justice Keith Holder called, quote, an extremely dangerous woman. But during her interview with the Post, Nastya tried to paint herself as a less evil killer and more an arts and crafts teacher. Okay, Mother Teresa. I had no idea I can draw, but I'm really good, she said, adding that she's made a few $100s each month in Rikers for her illustrations, which run the gambit from Disney characters such as Mickey Mouse to classic cartoons such as Roger Rabbit, and Betty Boop. Oh, well, here you go. Um, God bless Denmark, as Sal said. One can almost imagine. I make all sorts of things for inmates, cards, posters, t-shirts, she said. Once I made birthday decorations for an inmate's daughter. She liked the minions, so I made large cardboard cutouts, painted them like minions. I put on 3D glasses, stood them up, and made t-shirts for all the kids with minions characters and their names on each shirt, she beamed. It's only the beginning. Oh, dear God. I mean, they're good art things, and I'm glad you found a talent. So maybe license plates, you could airbrush your own for the yeah, she tried to kill the eyelash lady. Guilty, guilty from the start. Yeah, and Disney's gonna come after your ass. You're in jail, but Disney will kick Disney gonna come after you, girlfriend. Despite her pleasant new hobby, the old fiery Nestorova quickly surfaced when she was asked about things like food in prison or the trial that put her here. The food here is garbage, she said, but I like that I can order fresh fruits and vegetables. I get more recreational time here. I've already lost 20 pounds. She has also refused to go to mandated anger management courses. No, you don't need anger management. Because she thought they were a waste of time. "It's bullshit," she said. "They don't care about what they're doing. They're not gonna help me. I do have anger issues, but they're not the kind of anger issues that this class can help me with." As a pot, you know, and she's a kettle, and I'm coming to terms with the fact that I may need some kind of therapeutic help with, like, my mentalness and such. Maybe I should not throw stones, but Ish, you need to get into some damn therapy. You are in some damn prison. You do not get a choice to go to therapy or not. You done tried to poison someone with some delicious, delicious cheesecake. You are in New York, the home of the damn New York style cheesecake, and you done try to ruin a national treasure. Get your ass to therapy. Other inmates have already felt her icy wrath, she claims. Once I got into a fight. I was so angry I kept beating her, and she was covered in blood. Nestorova said. Then I realized if I didn't stop, I'm going to seriously maim her, so I stopped. No anger issues found. Yeah, Disney lawyers are going to show up at her door, ma'am. We're here to take your honey buns and your fresh vegetables. Dear Lord in heaven, I don't have anger issues. Her arrival at Bedford Hills was quite the spectacle, she said. She was covered in blood when she arrives, which she claimed was from a transport guard punching her in the nose. Oh, Lord, she done wrote the Gettysburg Address on her damn prison uniform. Oh god. They called extra security and, quote, "strapped me up like Hannibal Lecter." Now, why don't we get photos of that? She said, referring to the fictional cannibal serial killer, adding that she was placed on suicide watch. I told them, quote, "I'll never kill myself with my intellect." Oh god. Sarah Boone. If you were oh lord. If I wanted to kill myself, I would have done it already, believe me. Everyone knows who I am here, Nestorova boasted. There are a few Russian-speaking inmates here, and before I arrived, they were asking them about me. You know, she's coming here. She's a legend. Nastarova also claimed her supposed reputation is all overblown. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a criminal. I'm a human being, she added. Or she said, before adding that she doesn't tolerate any respect. She is gonna be the next Disney princess, the Force's female. Darth Nastashirova. She's a real she's a real bee if you mess with her cheesecake. The next holocron's gonna be a raspberry red cheesecake blaster. Good God. When people call me Russia or anything other than my name, I don't respond, she said. I tell them, you can call me Victoria or inmate Nasarova, not Russia, not white tea, or anything other than my name. You don't have to like me, but you have to respect me. Apparently that would be also another one of her victims. And all the pills that she has. Jiminy Christmas. She's lashed out at every person involved in her case, including the prosecutors who, quote, turned the trial into a Broadway show and the witnesses who testified against her. It's a total fabricated case, she said, arguing she had no reason to poison Sitchvik. Look, something Russian. Let's be honest, I'm butchering these names. Who nearly died after eating the powerful Russian tranquilizer Fensipam, and that old drug conviction should have wounded Bergfrov's credibility. Prosecutors said Nastrova tried to hijack um, the victim's identity by making off with her passport and cash. Again, Lash Lady and this woman do not look the same. This woman and Lash Lady look nothing alike. Quote, "The trial was built on the fact that I tried to kill this woman because we look alike and I want to steal her identity," the temptress countered. "But she's not a US citizen. She doesn't have a green card. She doesn't have any rights. What's the point?" Sal. That wins the internet for today. What's the point in for me for ch what is the point for me to try to kill this woman? I don't know, but you look nothing alike, so I yeah, Sal, no. If she offers to send you any no, just no. Hard no. But if she offers to draw you stuff, I mean, frame it. Nestorova claimed that the victim is the real villain, accusing the victim of trying to frame her and putting the drug in the on the cake box herself so she could remain in the US without making it clear how those 2 things are connected. She also ranted about an illegal organ donation ring that she claims operates in the tri-state area and says she wants to sue the jail because a correction officer punched her on the way to Bedford Hills, and she believes the Russian government is trying to frame her. Makes perfect sense. I knew that Putin was in charge of this. I would. I'd keep a close oh my Sal, those are some Manson lamps. Imagine those eyes peering at you from every from the living room every day for the rest of your life. Don't do it, Sal. They're creeping me out from a computer screen. In real life, they're terrifying. Also, I'm sure she has a right haymaker that'll knock your ass out. I'm just saying. That's a that's a thick Russian woman, if you get my meaning. East Russian woman, like an East Berlin early '80s, like, all the test woman. When the Post contacted the victim, she said Nastarova deserves what she got. Yeah, I planted the drugs," the victim says, sarcasm dripping from her words. "I poisoned myself and all those other people drugged themselves. Yet she's the one in jail, she's lying about everything." Bokrov admitted he was arrested for growing pot about 15 years ago, but served his time and never used the drugs himself. I know, imagine that on the other side of your pillow, Sal. I'm just saying, run. Run now, run fast, run hard, change your name. Uh, it's the only thing that makes sense at this point. I don't know how, but it's the only thing. I told the truth, Burkhoff said. What she did to people, she deserves whatever she gets. Everyone is lying, everyone is corrupt. She's the only one that says the truth, yet she got 21 years. Nasarova, meanwhile, compared herself to Matt Damon's character in the movie The Martian. Okay, all right, Einstein, make this one make sense. One of her favorite flicks that she said inspired her. Yes, this woman and this woman. This woman and this woman. Twinsies. I'm making no comment. Can you imagine a person in such a situation to be left alone on a foreign planet and not only survive, but make it back home? Nasarova asked. For me, it's the same situation, not only to survive in jail, but to gain my freedom. But her victims are less concerned about Nasarova's supposed struggles and more worried about what she'll do if or when she eventually gets out. Quote, "She's a dangerous person, a scary person," the victim told the Post. "She's a manipulator and a liar, and thank God she can't do what she's been doing to people anymore. Although who knows what she's doing in jail? She's capable of anything. I hope they don't let her out early, lest she come for me." I know one of these things is not like the other. I I mean, I hate to be, like, Ma'am, ma'am." It's like the She-Devil movie. I mean, Roseanne looked very nice at the end of it, but it's like the start of the She-Devil movie. Also, she was a dominant. I could see it. I could see it. Okay, so next story. In prosecutors and judges behaving badly, because I always love our judges and prosecutors and state people behaving badly, we go to lawn and crime, or lawn and crim. Who would we get back? Can we get the school teacher back? Because I will trade her for, hmm, I don't know. But if we got some really good vodka, like if I personally got some really good vodka, I would send her back. But or maybe some really good baklava. I don't know. We'd have to see. Or something really good. I don't know. Like Russian desserts. Judge allegedly called out for angrily invoking her office while double parked in a public school teacher calling double parked public school teacher a B. Can we get someone to proofread? Judge called out for angrily invoking her office while dubbing Lord. So this is this wonderful woman. Um, are we Are we shocked that this woman used her office to yell at someone? Also, unfortunate name, Jill Epstein. I do believe she will not have, unalived herself lately. Alright. A New York judge who fumed that she had a courthouse to run when calling a double-parked public school teacher a stupid bee on April Fool's Day on 2022 has earned herself an admonishment. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct has determined. The commission published the findings on August 28th and said that the Kings County-based New York Civil Court Judge Jill Epstein, an elected Democrat, She does look like she wants to see your manager and your manager's manager because she'd like to use her expired coupon, and do you know who she works with? Allegedly engaged in admittedly engaged in misconduct. The recommendation of admonishment as the only sanction was due to Epstein's acceptance of responsibility, the commission said. Quote, a judge must uphold the integrity and dignity of judicial office at all times, on and or off the bench, and avoid asserting the judicial title in personal situations, such as when frustrated by traffic jam. Oh, see, this is why I can't be a judge. I'd be throwing around my judgeship all the time. I'd be like, when people have more than 10 items in the 10 items only line, "I am a judge. Objecture. Get the hell out of here. 10 I'm holding you in contempt of line rules. Get the hell out of here." I'd have a bailiff with me. You have no idea. I'd abuse the hell out of it. This is why I'm not a judge. Power? Me? No. I'd wear the robe around all the time. Probably carry the little mallet. I'd maybe wear the white wig. I don't know. Probably have the little lace doily thing that RBG used to wear. This again, this is why Mo does not have power beyond, like, internet powers. The official recounting of the April Fool's Day incident said that the jurist was on her way to work when she became, quote, "stuck behind a double-parked car outside of a school, namely PS 261 at Borum Hill, Brooklyn." Epstein entered the school, identified herself as a judge to the school safety officer, said she had to get to work at the courthouse, and asked about the vehicle, according to the commission's telling of what took place. When the teacher whose car had been double parked outside came to move her car, Judge Epstein became angry and called her a stupid bee. To be fair, could I see Mo doing this? Yes. Yes, I could. Eh, I'd allow it. I probably wouldn't put it up, but I would allow it. Uh, said she too had a parking placard, but could not use it to double park, and added she had a courthouse to run. The commission noted that Epstein was cooperative and contrite through the process, and she regrets her misconduct and acknowledged her vulgarity and references to her judicial status undermined public confidence in the integrity of the judiciary and violated the rules. Epstein did send a written apology to the teacher she called a stupid bitch. The Hallmark card. The Hallmark card. Oh my god. You just get a card with lovely flowers. "I'm sorry," and then inside, "I regretfully called you a stupid C word yesterday, but in all fairness, you parked like a woman." Just it was a joke, y'all. I parked terribly. Men park terribly. Teenagers park terribly. Anyone who has a car parks terribly, except for my husband, who seems to be able to do it fairly well for some reason. Sal. I saw that on Discord. Um, the panel found Epstein, quote, improperly asserted her judicial status when speaking to the school safety officer and created the appearance that she expected special treatment and deference due to her judicial position. Although Epstein was, quote, subject to administrative action by her supervisor, i.e., a demotion or from supervisory role, her term as a judge is set to expire at the end of 2028. The judge reportedly said in his statement that she has, quote, taken affirmative steps to better herself. Awesome. So, like, is she in therapy or something? Yeah, I mean, first of all, A, in New York, why are you double parked? That's great. Yes, I mean, they're both at fault. Why are you double parked in a busy city like New York? I mean, and, being inconsiderate that way, especially in a school place where, people, drop-off times are cray cray, especially, like, in a private school where some of my kids are going now and, you have to be responsible for transportation. It is it is cray cray. I mean, there are systems if you've ever watched Mr. Mom, there are systems that must be followed, I mean, or there is chaos. So, this teacher who double parked is a butthole. This judge is also a butthole. And what affirmative steps? Like, she watched Oprah for a minute? Like, what the hell is affirmative step? Like, "Look, I've taken some yoga. I bought scented candles, and I saged out my car." I don't Yeah, it's That's hilarious. I need to start doing that. After inappropriately lashing out in a moment of human frailty while off the bench, Epstein previously made headlines in 2022 when a fellow member of the Democratic Party exposed a cover letter riddled with basic grammar and spelling mistakes. I cannot fault her because I've never been good with grammar or spelling. That's why autocorrect is my friend. And if autocorrect doesn't catch it, then why should I be expected to catch it? I mean, that's the only reason autocorrect exists, right? Oh, Lord. But let's see this. Quote, "This might be the worst letter I've ever received from a judicial candidate. I can excuse a typo or two, but this has at least eight, and that's being lenient. Principal civil court judge, know of any events? How can I consider you if I can't even read can't even proofread read sorry. How can I consider you if you can't even proofread your letter to me?" And this person is actually a leading candidate. Oh, Lord. Look, we all have bad days. We all have bad days where we don't know how to do that, and in our last story, or maybe our last story, because there's one more that I might be able to squeeze in if I don't talk too much, which is always a possibility, but we've got a prosecutor acting badly, and, I love me a prosecutor acting badly outside of the courtroom and getting caught. I'm looking at you, Binger. Prosecutor. Yeah, it's not her fault. Her AI was just really drunk. She got hooked up with Bender last night, and that guy is just all the crazy. Prosecutor accused of, quote, wantonly murdering wife at home and trying to cover up the crime started a new relationship months after her death. Hmm. Wantonly. Gotta love wantonly. A Kentucky lawyer and prosecutor has been indicted for allegedly murdering his wife and tampering with evidence after the fact, more than 2 years after she died of blunt force trauma at home. Hmm. According to the August 30th indictment, 54-year-old Donald Kyle Deskins, a former assistant Pike County attorney and current city attorney in Elkhorn City, killed 46-year-old Judith Dawn Deskins in April 2021, quote, with intent to cause her death under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, wantonly engaged in conduct with which created a grave risk of health and death. Could we just say murdered? For the love of God, I love you lawyers, but and I know it's your job, but holy God. And I will be doing a separate video on these worthless piece of garbage allegedly uh firefighters over here who um may or may not allegedly have done a gang grape and did text messages, but they deserve their own video of shame. And I didn't wanna put them in kind of a fun mornings with Mo because they have irritated me and they deserve their own video of shame. So that will be their own video. I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I have ADHD and I saw it in the side, and y'all know me enough by now. Any hoozle, let's get back. In both the immediate aftermath and ensuing months of the murder, tampered with evidence at the scene and with evidence on his laptop. What, did he delete his history? He's like feral. About my search history, if you could just bleach bit. I know, I always do. Judith Dawn Diskins died on April 24th, 2021, which is one of the dates the defendant is alleged in the indictment to have tampered with evidence. The second alleged evidence tampering offense goes back to July 28th, 2021, when the defendant is accused of tampering with evidence on a laptop before handing it over to the cops. Again, like, they don't expect every single defendant to tamper with their evidence. I mean, except for Sarah Boone, who's like, "Here's my phone. You wanna see him, dancing with the dog?" July 28th, 2021, it was also one day after Donald Kyle Deskins updated his status on Facebook to say he was in a relationship with another woman, leading many to congratulate him and saying how happy they were that the father of two and, quote, "great man" apparently found his happiness just 3 months after his wife's sudden death. Um, what did she die of other than blunt force trauma? I mean, did she fall down the stairs? I am confused. His Facebook page currently lists him as single, however. The Kentucky lawyer previously faced professional discipline for multiple errors and omission in his representation. A woman heading for divorce in 2014, Kentucky Supreme Court opinion and order shows Kyle Deskin. So he was suspended from practice of law in Kentucky for a period of 30 days, beginning 10 days after entry of this order, to be probated for 1 year. Uh-huh. Notably, the opinion said Deskins attempted to mitigate his misconduct by citing mental health issues and family problems. All right. Interesting. Interesting. So apparently he did a shit job representing some woman for divorce, and did such a bad job that the Supreme Court decided to take away his license for 30 days and to be probated, which I guess I'll have to ask David about, but I guess that sort of takes away his, maybe that's like lawyer training wheels. I will have to look that up. But he decided to cite mental health issues and family things. So let's see. In mitigation for his professional conduct, Deskin states he was suffering from anxiety and depression related illnesses corresponding with certain personal and family problems during the events given rise to this case. In April 2012, Deskins voluntarily entered into a 2-year supervision agreement with the Kentucky Lawyers Assistance Program and is currently in compliance with the terms of that agreement. The KBA made no objections to Deskin's motion for suspension with conditions and requested the court grant Deskin's motion. Yeah. So MLS, apparently this lawyer got probated. So does that mean he's like a lawyer training? He had his license revoked and now he's back on his permit. 'cause he did a terrible, terrible job, but he also allegedly unalived his wife too, so good morning, making law simple, and I hope you're having a wonderful time in not America. Yes, we actually are talking about you because I was asking a question. This particular lawyer in the story that we are talking about was suspended from the practice of law, for a period of 30 days and then probated for 1 year, and I didn't know if probated meant that he was kind of, like, back to a learner's permit, so he needed someone to kind of supervise him, so he was back on restriction, like, he didn't have his full license. But we shall continue and await the wise lawyerling of making law simple. 6 months after his wife's death, defendant Deskins shared a post about depression and anxiety, writing, "If you know, you know. If you don't, be thankful." Oh God, vague posting. Dear Jesus. If anyone could stop one thing in the world, it would be vague posting. I get it, you guys. Depression and anxiety really sucks. Though he was indicted in Pike County, Deskins will not be prosecuted in Pike County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office given the obvious conflicts raised by his former employment there as an assistant prosecutor. As a result, Johnson County Commonwealth's Attorney Floyd Tony Skeens has been named a special prosecutor, News Express reported. Without getting into the specifics about the evidence, Skeens suggested this was a difficult case to put together. Quote, finding the person with the skills and expertise to be able to interpret the physical evidence took forever, Skeens reportedly said. I got involved in late 2021, and it took me nearly all of 2022 to find someone who could look at it. Pike County Detention Center records reviewed by Law and Crime show the prosecutor turned defendant is charged with committing the murder in the course of domestic violence and tampering with physical evidence. Deskins remains jailed without bonds. The Kemper resident, listed at 6'3" and 330 pounds, was booked at 1:19 p.m. on August 31st. Yeah, I I don't know. This seems I don't know. This doesn't I want to see the probable cause affidavit. I wanna see how they think that this seems vague. I am all for prosecutors being held to the same standard, but I wanna see the probable cause affidavit. He seems like a not great lawyer, but if it's taken this long for them to put this all together, I wanna see what they first thought that the traumatic brain injury was, because this seems a little odd, and also, yeah, how is Floyd and Tony the same thing? Unless he looks like if he looks like Tony Soprano, we are following this trial. But I definitely this'll be a trial that I wanna keep an eye on because having a former prosecutor, uh, I wanna see how this case goes because this will definitely Oh, well, I'm sorry. Vague posty. I know. Can we stop vague posting? And then when you ask and they say nothing, it's like dealing with 9 billion teenage girls. Stop vague posting people. If you want help, if you need attention, just ask me. I will give you attention. I hear and I care about people, but I don't care enough to figure out about your vague post. And just for you guys, just because you know I care, one last one. Just to show we haven't forgot about you, Maria and little Lupe and little Lucia, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I In sex and relationships, I have 93 altered personalities, and I've found a partner to love each one. Dear, TikTok is the devil. Y'all, what? Why? Just we have no future. Oh, this is in New Zealand. Never mind. Go on New Zealand. This this is clearly totally healthy, and this is not. I know, Sal, I finally got the joke. It These weeks with no Monday or fake Monday completely confuse me. A New Zealand woman has found love and happiness even as she navigates life with 93 alternative personalities. Eh, She seems, let's see if we can listen to her talk without getting, hopefully, she doesn't have music. Okay. Let's see if we can.
What are some of the other altars names? Um, Millie, Six, and Sky, and Andrew, and Luna, and Rachel, and Jesus, and Ghost, and Dog, and Ellis, and
Oh, okay,
Izzy.
no, no, her voice is enough to give me an altered personality. I'm sorry, you guys, whatever her voice, no. What? No. Eh, was this is this what happens if you actually watch the Teletubbies for too long and the Wiggles? Someone needs to explain, is this what happened when you watched the Wiggles and Teletubbies together on acid? What happened here? What what did this? Did she sniff all of did she make her own slime in, like, a vat of acid? What happened here? This is not dissociative identity disorder, DID. Did she smoke Dr. Beverly's did she get into Dr. Beverly's son's stash? Like the secret one, like the super, super secret, super cereal stash? The man, bear, pig, and yeah, could one of the personalities have a normal human voice? One Sal, Salberto. Imma put you in the corner. Is a condition where individuals possess alters, each one with their own distinct age. Could one of them have a not freaking horrible age? Could one of them not be 13 and a half and just irritating? Could one of them be, like, 47 and a chain smoker? I oh my god, no, stop. For Amber Lodge 31, these altars range from small children who love to paint and adults who relish dining out. Then why are you only showing us stop. Some personalities are blunt and direct, and others are shy and reserved. Lodge was diagnosed with DID 5 years ago. At that point, she'd already experienced the complexities of relationships as her partner struggled to understand her rapid changing identities, leading to short lived romances. This is not the same. That's an ad. Okay. Well, she cleaned up okay there ish. I mean, I don't know why she wanted to be Elsa for a day, but go on with your bad self. Before we were you are not you are not using the royal we, ma'am. We are not no. No, ma'am. Before I was diagnosed, I fixed it for you. There you go. With DID, it was hard and confusing for the people that I dated, not we, again, fixed it for you, because they didn't understand why I would change so much and why they seemed to get a different person each time. Lodge told Craters News, referring to herself as we because because she doesn't understand English. And we've allowed pronoun and grammar buffoonery. No. No, ma'am. We go by English that doesn't make us look insane. out of kindness to people that have to read English. Have you done acid, ma'am? This is a just off topic. However, Lodge's story took a remarkable turn when she met 26-year-old Andrea online. Their connection was instantaneous and their love blossomed into marriage. Oh my god, stop with the I kind of gave up on dating until I luckily met Andrea because she already followed me online and understood DID, Lodge explained. I didn't have to tell her about it, she just understood it. It was so easy. Andrea not only embraces Lodge's altars, but she cherishes the opportunity to connect with. Okay, but when you're 6, does she still with you? Because then that's, abuse, and we need to have a talk. Because that's gross. Also, how does she deal with that voice? Like, earplugs? Does she have Bose headphones? Like, what does she do? Because 'Cause I'm looking for a new set of noise canceling headphones, and if she has really good ones that she recommends, if she could hit me up on X, I need to know. Does she have a GI tube? What in the actual what am I looking at here? What is this with all the stamps and the glitter and the doodads that they've stuck on their face? I have officially reached, like, "Get off my lawn. What the hell are these kids into? I am too old for this shit age, haven't I?" Okay. Alright. Andrea not only embraces Lodge's altars, but she cherishes the opportunity to get with each. No. Okay. She says it's exciting to date different individuals and learn about their distinct preferences and interests. Sounds exhausting, to be honest. Well, it's a woman, so they're lesbians, I guess. Well, wait, if one of the alters is a man, does that make her hetero? I'm all confused. Yeah, no, I am like mood swings are hard enough. Mr. Mo would be like, help, no, running shoes. Alters can surface 5 to 8 times a day, leading to unpredictable shifts in personality. Oh, hell no. On any given night, Andrea could fall asleep next to one altar and wake up to a entirely different persona the next day. If a child goes through extreme childhood trauma, those parts don't integrate and take on a self of their own. Amnesia barriers are created between those parts, Lodge says. This is what alters are. It continues into into adulthood. Alters can have different ages, genders, life experiences, and personalities. Oh, well, they had a cute wedding. That's nice. Here's the thing, isn't the hope with DID to work on integration of all of these parts? It looks like she's just embracing the chaos, which, yeah, I'm to help navigate this intricate does she have name tags? Because sometimes I don't pick up on subtle cues, so I'd need name tags, like, "Who the hell are you now?" And sometimes I'm just tired and don't have the time to figure out the IQ of your, specialness. Oh my no. It's chicken nuggets every day, ma'am. If you're gonna act like you're 6, you're just getting chicken nuggets. I don't care. And you're gonna need to wear a name tag. Like, if you're Chloe one minute and then Roy and Rufus the next, pick your damn name tag up. I'm not figuring it out. I'm not gonna look for cues. Just go put your name tag on and we're no, I am not the chick for you, ma'am. Let's see. To help navigate this intricate dynamic, Andrea maintains a folder detailing the preferences of each altar. Oh, hell no. No. If I have to keep a note, no, no, ma'am. I mean, I know Mr. Mo's favorite foods. I know all that. But if Mr. Mo had 973,000 different things no, no, ma'am. I'm not keeping up with 97 of Mr. Mo's. No way. It's challenging to remember things like who likes which flowers' birthdays. No, and different date ideas that I can plan, or maybe sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about because that person wasn't out at the time or something was happening. She looks she looks sane. This woman looks like she should, be allowed to vote. This run a country. This perfectly normal. Has never this'll never go wrong. Lodge has her own signals, feeling spaced out before an alter transition occurs, which can serve as a cue to anticipating a new personality emerging. She reflects yes. She goes to her side piece, and her side piece is just like, "You wanna sit on the couch, watch some Futurama, or do you wanna watch, some YouTube videos?" And she's like, "Shit, yeah." They just sit there and they watch things and no one talks. And she's like, "I love you." And they just sit there and hold hands. She reflects on challenges before her DID diagnosis, when her shifting identities left partners bewildered and relationships strained. She recalled her reluctance to disclose her condition due to fear of judgment or lack of understanding. Quote, relationships in general, even with friends, can be challenging, she divulged. We try oh, for God's sake. I try to be as reliable as I possibly can, but if I've made plans and then a different alter ends up out and they either don't want to read it or don't want to hang out with that person, they just won't show up. Well, that just sounds like you're being a flake. I mean, okay, I'm kind of on the fence as to whether DID truly exists to the point where Dr. Beverly says it. I believe it does exist, but I also think that this woman might allegedly, in my opinion only, and I have only, started my pre-doctorology thing, but this woman sounds like a flake, a super flake, and it sounds like she's found someone that will cater to instead of help her work through her trauma. So she is delving really, really deep into this, playing into what she can do. I'm not saying it's not real to her. I am not saying it is not a real thing, but I'm saying she's found someone with whom she can definitely wallow in it. Uh, and someone who caters to it and someone who maybe lets her get away with being as flaky and into it as she possibly can. But that's just my opinion, because tell me you have 97 personalities, and I'm gonna tell you, "Okay, have fun with that. I'm gonna go sit here in the corner and watch Futurama." Like, I don't care. Lodge's adult alters are in a romantic relationship with Andrea, while those who emerge less frequency maintain okay, let's see. So, apparently her adult ones have smexy time, and her kids ones, I hope, don't? Ugh. I just yeah, I am all the confused here. I don't some of the alters are children. Andrea initially worried about how to interact with them, but she soon realized it's clear when a younger alter is present. Yeah, she's doing this for attention. Look, she probably had a horrific childhood. I am not dissing that. And I'm not saying that there's not even a I saw some of the videos that Dr., Lewis had, and there looked like there were some actual genuine people on there that did have alters. This looks like flakiness to me, and it looks like she's found someone that caters to her, and it looks like she's found an entire YouTubey thing that, gives her attention for doing this. But that's just me, and I'm just a Mo on the internet, and I'm pre-doctorology, so that's just me. But now it is time to again try to force Mr. Friberto to go on a walk and deal with the demon dachshunds that are next door, which he's about the well, he's smaller than, but he must still conquer his fear and attempt to walk. So I bid you all farewell. I will start working on the, uh, Institute of Sexology video. I will be working on the Ask a Doctor from the Adult Film Guild. And then I will also be working on the firefighters. Yeah, like I said, I think it's six of one, half a dozen of the other. To be honest, here, I think that uh, while she may have some legitimate mental illness, components. I think she's also found a community of people who give her all of the passes for being a flake, and then she also, uh, you know, does get to have a wife that, keeps all of her file folders, and she gets to be as flaky as she wants and have all the different things, because some days I really want chips and salsa, and then other days I really want cheesecake, not poisoned preferably. If I could just get, like, not the antifreeze in it, though some days, Yes, I might pop in for Verdict Watch, I might not. I've got bunches of things to do today and bunches of videos to make, so I will be and then tomorrow, hopefully, we will have some, footage on the Gareth Purse House case, and we will get going on that. So I will be working on videos and getting a PO box set up and all lovely things for this channel, so like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I am really liking these Morning with Mo things. It's fun, and I get to share my fun, quirky news stories with you guys. So have a great day. Bye, guys.